Hello everyone, in this video we will look at the invoice module offered by Whautomate platform. Before we go and create invoices, let's just look at a couple of settings related to invoice. One is the invoice setting in itself. I'm just going to access that invoice setting under settings, under finance card. You have the invoices option. You can click on that. This is where you can update the title of the invoice. This is the title that will be on the generated document as such. If you would like to update this, you can update that. All the invoices generated within the platform will have INV as the prefix. If you'd like to have a different prefix for your company and you've got a standard, you can use that. The invoices that are generated within the platform will start from the number 1. Of course, if you would like to start from a different number for whatever reason, you could update this number and it will start generating the invoices from that number as well. There is also a default text option that will be updated on the invoice every time. Instead of typing thank you for your business every time, you could update it once here and it will add that text onto all the invoices that is getting generated as well. I'm just going to update this information. Save this. One other thing that we want to update is taxes. If you are a business that accepts taxes, or if you've got GST or any other tax that is relevant to you based on your jurisdiction, you can always add the new tax so that you don't have to manually add it every time in the invoice as such. You just provide the tax and whatever is the GST rate or whatever is the tax rate percentage, you can add that in here and save it as well. Now that we've got the settings sorted, let's go into the invoices that is accessible under finance invoices. You can click on that, and this is where if you've got invoices already, all the invoices that are previously generated will be listed in here. Since it's a new account, we don't have any invoice. You can add a new invoice by clicking on the button here. And here you have a bunch of different options. But as you can see here, the thank you for your business that we updated on the settings got updated in here as well. Let's just select a client. Got only one client in the account, so I'm just going to select that client. And you can add a staff. Let's say this could be like if someone is making the sale within your business, they could be the one that can be added as a staff, and later under payments you can filter out how much each staff has generated the revenue for your business as well. And you can update any information, additional information that you want to type in regarding your invoice. You can give it in here. If you want to update any internal notes that is just visible for you and your internal staff, you can add that note in here as well. Just going to type in something. And we've got a couple of dates. This is the date that the invoice is generated on, and this is the due date. Let's say if you've got a due date concept within your business and you want to accept the payments or something, you could add that due date in here. By default, it will be the same day the invoice is generated, but if you want to update it to a future date, you always have the option to do so. And here you have a couple of options. You have add service and add product. In the previous video, we saw adding a new service into our platform. We haven't gone into the inventory module. Later down the line, we will set up products, then you can add products. But now we can select the service. Since we have updated the price for the service on the service menu, the price gets automatically updated. If you're offering discount as a percentage or a fixed value, you can always do that as well. Let's say I want to give a discount of $25, I can update that and it will update as well. And we have also set up the tax. I can update the tax as well, and it gets added to the overall amount. And if I want to add multiple taxes, if I've set up multiple taxes on the account, you can keep on adding as many taxes as you want depending on your jurisdiction. Now that we have added all of the information, next is if you have received the payment already, you can mark it as I've received the payment. Whatever the payment mode is, you can update that. Or else if you want to generate the invoice and send the payment link, you could also do that. In this instance, since the customer doesn't have, or the client record doesn't have an email record, this option is disabled. If they have an email record, you can send the invoice via email as well. And here we have the SMS option that by default is enabled for all of the businesses, and we give 100 free SMSs. You can use that option to send the payment link to your customer. Here, this one, WhatsApp, is disabled because we haven't set up the WhatsApp yet. In the future videos, we will look at how to set up WhatsApp on the account, and you can use that option to request the payment via WhatsApp as well. The other option is you just want to save and send. And what you can do is you can generate a QR code here. As you can see, it generated a QR code. I can send from here, or I can, if the customer is at your doorstep and you just want to get them to scan the QR code and access the payment link, you could do that as well. So I'm going to show how the payment link looks like. I've set up the branding and I've given the company name, everything. So as you can see here, all of the information is updated to my brand settings that are updated, and I also have different payment options that are allowed by default, and I can always customize the payment options in my Stripe account as well if I need to. And let's look at the generated invoice as well for a minute. As you can see here, we updated the company information under business settings. All that information is added onto the invoice, and we also added a logo that also got added in the invoice as well. Now that everything looks good, I'm just going to close and quickly navigate through a few other options within the invoice as such. The internal note that we just added, you can click on this little icon and look at that internal notes that you have typed. And later down the line, if you want to resend the payment to your client, you always have that option to do so at any point in time. And if they have paid offline at a later point in time through an offline bank transfer or some other mode, you can also record payment. And this also allows partial payment as well. Let's say if they have only updated, or if they have only paid half the amount or something using cash, then you can update that and it will move to the pending status. The next time you go into the payment link, now you can see that the payment link has updated to the remaining amount that the customer needs to pay. If they have paid everything, you can also record as many payments as you want multiple times using the record payment option. By default, it will show you the amount that's pending and also the balance amount. Let's say if you update the balance amount, it gets updated from the total amount. I'm just going to update it to full and save. Now that the whole invoice is paid, it's moved to the paid status as such. There are a couple of other options. Let's say you want to download the invoice, you can always download. If you want to print, you can also print as well. And you will also see the payment details in the invoice. And let's say they called your business and asked for invoice because they lost it or whatever. You always have the option to send the invoice at any point in time. And if you have multiple invoices, you can filter the invoices using the status or the date range as well, just to filter out. And whatever payments that has occurred within the platform, you can see them under the payment section. Here, as you can see, we made a couple of payments using the record payment as the mode cash. That's why it doesn't have a fee. Let's say if they have paid online and there was an online gateway fee involved, it will display the fee as well with the breakdown here. And if you want to filter out a particular staff to look at their revenue or something, that option is also available for you to do so by filtering the staff as such. And you also have the option to export to Excel. This allows you to quickly send it to your accountant or reconciliation purposes. And the last thing that I want to show is these are invoices for this particular location as such. Let's say you want to look at the invoices of a particular client. You can navigate into the client record and then go to the invoices section, and you can look at the particular invoices as well. And if there was an unpaid invoice within that customer or paid invoice from the customer, the amount you will also be displayed here for that particular customer as such. That's it on this video. Keep following the tutorial series to understand the different parts of Whautomate. Thank you.